We essentially are shown films by all the individual distributors. We then decide where we want to play them throughout the UK, at which sites specifically, and we help to negotiate with the distributors how much we're going to pay for the right to show those films. Each day of the week is quite different in film buying because everything sort of focuses around our Monday booking or holdover date, we call it. That's when we essentially sit down and have the last minute negotiations with the distributors, and everything sort of focuses around that Monday. Without question, the most enjoyable part of the job is actually watching the films. Anyone who loves films in any way, shape or form would absolutely revel in that aspect of the job, and we do get to watch quite a few films, whether it's in work time or out of it. You know, I've even had to sit through some awful films, but I'm glad that I had the experience of them because it's helped to inform, what I know makes a good film. Yeah, I think when I was at school I always knew I wanted to work in some field in the arts, per se. But at the time I thought it was more in line with playwriting and directing, which is what I actually then went on to do at university. I studied a Bachelor of Arts in Drama at Queensland University, so it's probably slightly different to here. It was a very hands-on course. There was a lot of good practical work, so I got out there and actually worked with directors. My university career kind of declined over the space of 2 years as I was working for my student union, which I'd been elected to, and that became like a full-time job. So working in student union politics was really my first proper job, and it was a very good grounding for working with people and working out how to negotiate with people and help them, but also help yourself to get what your goal was as well. Straight after university I came to the UK for a holiday with my family for Christmas, and as it turns out I never went back. And that was 11 years ago, over 11 years ago. So since then I've worked in a variety of jobs. Initially, because I was only on what I thought was a short break, I started off in part-time jobs and was working 2 jobs at once, in a wine shop and in a body shop as well. And from there I kind of got into management and cinema management from there, which is how I ended up in this field as well. Cinema management is great, it's a good buzz, but it certainly wasn't me. I didn't feel like it was fulfilling me in every way that I knew I wanted to. Then a matter of a year and a bit later, 2 years later, a position came up, which, I thought, well, that's my chance, because these positions come up so rarely in film buying. Once people get the jobs, they often tend to stay in them for a long time. So I thought, right, I shall apply. I didn't know how I'd go, really didn't have 100% belief I would get it, because I knew that lots of people who would apply have potentially more film experience than I did. But yeah, I was lucky enough to get the role. My family were quite happy for me to stay in the UK and in London, because my mum's English originally, and on both sides we're of Irish descent and English as well. So there's always been a very strong link to the motherland type thing. So I think it gives them a good excuse to come over and stay in the spare room. They've got somewhere to stay, and they're happy for me to be here, and they're all quite familiar with the country. So it's a long way to go, but as long as I get home for holidays, it's okay. Certainly I'm very new in the position I've been doing now, in terms of it's been a year. So I'm happy to keep mastering what I'm doing now and being, hopefully being a success at that. But, it's not all about work as well. There's lots of travel I haven't done yet. I've certainly travelled as widely as I could up till now, but, in my personal life there's lots of travel that I still want to do. So aside from film, I also really enjoy opera, and high arts and that kind of thing as well, and a bit of comedy. So London's fantastic for all of that, because you can see, anything almost any night of the week. So I love living in London. You can always look back and say, I wish I'd done that differently, and with hindsight it's always a marvellous thing. Certainly years ago, when I wasn't quite 100% happy with what I was doing, I wished that I'd done something a little bit more practical and not quite as followed my heart so much in terms of doing a drama studies, a drama degree. But these decisions, you're meant to make mistakes so that you learn from them, so it's not a problem.